Hey Princess Auto, this is my remote controlled lawnmower. So what I started with was a Yardworks 24 volt 20 amp hour battery pack cordless self-propelled lawnmower for 20 bucks. I basically took it, I replaced the batteries in the battery pack because they were shot. I took off all the wheels, the handle, the electronics, the whole self-propulsion gearbox and drive shafts and all that, down to basically just the bare frame. Took off the blade so I didn't cut any fingers off, of course. And what I started with was a set of wheelchair motors from an older wheelchair. I painted the wheels green just to match a little bit. I decided with a 2.5 inch blade height. So basically put some blocks underneath it that were 2.5 inches and made some brackets out of angle iron. Luckily the motors already had threaded holes, M6, so I just screwed them into there, bolted them into the frame as well as the motor body itself. Did the same thing on the other side here. They're nice and strong. Back here's the flap where the grass comes out. I also do have the bag, which does fit on here. No problems, so you can use the bag if you want. Up front here with the casters, I originally wanted to use the original ones from the wheelchair. However, it just didn't work out. The bearings on them were huge, and I had to build some sort of big frame and whatnot just to use them. So I ended up buying a set of casters. I took some flat steel, bent it up so that it would clear the wheel, because these are, I think, around 8 inches high, 8 or 9 inches. I originally, like with these ones, they originally are supposed to use 4 bolts on the corners. I'd have to build some big frame that probably wouldn't be as strong as just a single bolt. So I had to cut the bolt out of here because it was pressed into place, which was a pain. Got a longer bolt, re-greased all the bearings inside, bolted back up into one piece. And it's nice and strong with the extra brace I have down there, which I'll be taking that and the wheels off to paint as I just finish this and just want to get the video done so I can enter in the contest. Same thing on the other side, trying to make everything symmetrical so it looked nice. I painted the front grille, it used to be gray. Up top, you have your main power shut-off, your switch for your radio and the wheels and everything, your antenna for the radio, and your power for the blade. So originally this whole top piece was bolted down up front and on the side and all around. What I did is I added some hinges on the front, and then you just put washer and a wing nut on the back. So if you ever need to work on it, it just pops up on a hinge and you can work on all the electronics. The electronics in it, it's pretty simple, straightforward sort of stuff. Your power comes in from there, from the battery, into your stop switch, which then goes to the switches individually. Then you flick on that one for your radio, which powers the speed controller, the radio, so the wheels and all the radio turn on, then you can drive it around. And that switch powers the blade motor. The speed controller I used was a Sabertooth 2x32, which is 32 amps per channel, which each channel is one of the motors, with a 60 amp burst. It's worked fine, hasn't got to the voltage cutoff at all, so I'm sure it'll be more than enough for what I'm using it for. It does have a little bit too much power, as it does do wheelies, at least with the old casters. These ones are a little bit heavier, so it doesn't want to as much, but it definitely can still, which is kind of dangerous for a lawnmower. So there's a program you can use to program the speed controller just to tone down the power a little bit so you don't do wheelies and make it dangerous. So the battery pack, it's the battery pack that came with the mower. Charging port right here, battery level right there. You just take it, pop it into the spot, just like it would be normally. The connector's in there so it gets power to all the rest. So to actually use it, just turn on your radio, turn on your stop switch, turn on power to the radio, and then you can turn the blade, which isn't on right now because I'm still working on it, but you can hear the motor running there. For the controls, it's really simple. Left stick for forward and back, and then the right stick for left and right, or a little bit of both. So now I'll show you some footage of it running around. Okay, so as I said, your left switch is for your backwards and forwards, and your right switch is for your left and right, or you can use both of them. So you can go forward, you can go backwards, you can go left, or you can go right, or a combination of the two. As I said, it's way too fast right now. I have to download the program for the speed controller and reduce the speed because it's just too fast and can be hard to control for somebody who's not experienced with it. But for now, we have some fun in the garage for all the snow melts, and I can actually use it as a lawnmower. So there it is, my remote control lawnmower. Of course, switches from Princess Auto. Have to put that in. I don't know why I built it exactly. I just always had the idea in my head, I think, from doing robotics in school and using wheelchair mowers and all that. Definitely excited to use it once the snow actually melts and I can use it as an actual lawnmower, not doing donuts in the garage. But thanks for watching, and I think my dad will be happy that I'll finally do chores.